was a comment that was made on Facebook the other day about being a submissive woman. They were saying that a submissive woman controls her man, and I agree with that. I think until we begin to talk in honesty and transparency and stop pandering to both sides, especially to the sisters, because there is so much entitlement, and because men have been quiet for so long, and it's been the men that has been quiet were the type of men that y'all really need to be listening to. The men that doing the most talking ain't the ones, they don't have nothing to say anyway.
What's good? It's your boy Quay Price, man, holding it down for Kandid Konvos. Definitely check us out every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. People today, they lazy. Ain't nobody trying to put in no work. If stuff start getting a little rough in the relationship or in the marriage, ain't nobody trying to fix nothing. Like, I mean, that's how people's mindsets are today. Yeah, but that's how I know that folks don't truly understand what marriage was about, because they tap out way too easy. Yeah, you see people fight harder for a job, like they can't go get another one of them in 2 weeks. Yeah, she's talking about these guys coming to these foreign countries and sourcing out these foreign women because they possess these character traits. Yep, they're more cooperative when it comes to a man, or they're more cooperative when it comes to a marriage and a relationship. They're more, nurturing forward when it comes to a relationship. They're more I don't even want to use the word soft, but I'll use the word soft. They're softer when it comes to, these relationships and interactions with men and so forth. And like I said, we definitely got to be honest. We see a difference, right? We see a difference. And I think, Chloe and Tay made some good points earlier. A lot of this stuff is based around money over here in the West. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Kandid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Coco on deck. Say what's up to the people, Coco.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show.
Man, welcome back. Yeah, shout out to y'all for joining us tonight, man. If y'all haven't already, smash that like button. Likes are free. Smash that like button. Also, all my YouTube folks, hit that subscribe, man. That's how we grow the platform. That's how we expand our coverage and get our message to as many of our people as possible, man. So once again, smash that like button. Hit that subscribe for all my YouTube folks, man. And share out the content, man. Yeah, share out the content. Like I said, that's how we get out here. Y'all know how this works. All right, cool. Let me get right on to it. Let's see what we got. All right, here's a link to join us on the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. If you come with the Apple device, come on through your device. Join us on the panel. Don't be scared, man. Like I said, we welcome everybody to the conversation. We welcome all perspectives. In addition to the video feed here, we also have this link in the chat feeds as well. So you can catch it at the Kandid Konvos page on YouTube or Facebook, and you can get it that way as well. But we'll lead us up here a little bit as we get into this conversation tonight. All right, let's see what we got checking in. Let's see, shout out to the real one in the building. He said, hello, everyone. What's going on, the real one? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight, supporting the platform. Appreciate you. All right, cool. Let's see, Kenyatta in the building. She said, happy Wednesday. What's going on, Kenyatta? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy Wednesday to you. All right. I think we're going to get right on into it, man. We ain't going to hold it up, man. Y'all let me know if y'all need that link. I know a lot of folks be scared, man. So tonight we are talking. Average women think they deserve more. Man, I see how y'all be coming with these titles, boy. Average women think they deserve more. Shout out to my guy Donovan. He said, what up? What's going on, Donovan? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight as well. All right, cool. Well, we're going to get right on into it, man. We ain't going to hold it up. So we're going to get right on into it. Average women think they deserve more.
Have average lives?
Do I think
that average men have average lives?
Do I think
Average men have average lives?
Okay, yes. I'm trying to see where you're going with
The
this.
issue is average women believe that they deserve a better than average life. That's a problem. Average men accept the fact that they can get an average woman. Average women believe that they deserve a better than average situation. They overly watch social media and they compare themselves. The thing about social media, and I think that the problem is, an emotional person having access to too many people's opinion affects them. They start comparing themselves to what's not going on in their life.
Right.
A lot of men that I talk to that's having problems in their relationships is because their girl is overly watching someone else's lens too much. They sit there and, oh, such and such is on vacation, and because I feel like most women are in competition with each other. And I think that your Birkin bag, your Louis, I would hit it if you got a Pathmark bag if you cute. I don't care. But again, your $50,000, $15,000, $2,000, $20,000 bag, it's for other women. It's not for me. It's not for a man, because I have never in my life heard a man say, yo, I got a bag and she got a Birkin bag. I ain't never heard that in my life.
I agree.
I ain't never heard a man say, yo, you see her red bottoms?
I agree.
Ooh, she heat. I ain't never heard that in my life.
I agree.
Right? But again, when you sit down and have these logic, I say, why do you want those red bottoms? Because you want to compare and contrast to what's going on selectively in society, what you want to see. Visually, you want to fit the aesthetics of the wealthy. Visually, you want to fit the aesthetics of the woman that look like she's being kept. Visually, you want to look like you travel out having fun rather than enjoying what's in your household. Most people can't even enjoy their household because they're too busy watching other people's houses. That's the problem with social media. It gives uncomfortable people too much access to people. Too much.
Right.
You're not secure with yourself, and you watching everybody. And that's a problem within itself.
But I said it to T before we came on, and I said I feel like a lot of men, right, I said to you, present themselves to be like they have it like that. And that's why a lot of women feel like they deserve more than they deserve, right? I feel like you have a lot of men out here that is like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'll pay for this, I'll pay for that. And then they set that standard. I'm not saying it's right, guys. They set that standard for other men. So you have these women feeling like, well, if he did this, if Tyler did this, I'm not dating Q if he's not even doing that bare minimum. And they feel like every man should do that.
Then you have
know
a
what
bum
I'm
baby
saying?
father. Then you have a bum baby father. You have a whole bum baby father, and now you create these diabolical standards. When you was giving your most intimate prize to a loser. And that don't make sense. It don't add up.
Okay, well, that's video number 1. So tonight we talking average women think they deserve more. Man, I don't even be knowing what to say, man. Y'all drop a comment, man. Y'all saw video number 1. Drop a comment. Let me know y'all perspective, what y'all think about what the gentleman and the young lady was saying in the video. I don't know, Coco. I don't know.
I mean, I know we've touched this topic before, but let's be all the way real, right? Like most of us are average. That's why it's average. Like that's what we are, right? And I agree with him that women are comparing themselves to other women and they're coming back saying, I am not doing enough. And so because they feel like they're not doing enough, or their lives are not enough, they then transfer that and project that onto their man, if they have one, right? That's if they have one. They project that onto themselves, because women will tell you all the time, I don't dress the way I dress for a man. I don't do my nails. I don't do my hair. I don't do my makeup. I don't do that stuff for a man. Well, if you're not doing it for a man, then who are you doing it for? You're doing it so that you can go out there and you can be validated by other women. You are in competition with other women. Just, it is what it is. Like he said, no woman, no dude is looking at your Birkin bag going, oh, she got a Birkin bag, I'm gonna smash that. Like, he doesn't care about your Birkin bag. Like, what? That man does not care about what type of bag you carry. You're not doing that to impress a man. You're doing it to impress another woman. And we need to ask ourselves, why do we care? I think it's because a lot of us are walking around here insecure, feeling inadequate. And so we need the validation. So if we can put on our Birkin bag, we can feel like we might be better than her. If our weave is longer, if our nails look more fly, if our lashes are always done, if our makeup is always, face always beat, then we can feel like we might be better. But at the end of the day, it's because a lot of women, one, are in competition with each other, and then two, you're overall just dissatisfied with your life. But the problem at the root of that is you're dissatisfied with your life because you're too busy comparing your real life to somebody else's sizzle reel online. They are posting vacation after vacation after vacation, yet they've only posted 5 times. What you think they're doing? They only posted when they go on a trip. You don't know what's happening in the other 260 days. You have no idea what their life is like. But you're comparing your life to theirs. Bag might be rented. Bag, borrow, and steal. Might be their friends, might not even be theirs. Cars are rental. The condo they living in is sublet. Don't got nothing in their name. But you looking at their life, you comparing it, and somehow now you feel insufficient. And women are very susceptible to that for the very reason that he said, because we are more emotional. It's all about our feelings and how something makes us feel. So a lot of times when we watch something, when we listen to something, the first thing is we connect with, how does this make me feel? And then we go from there. And so if you can literally be in the house you pray for, with the man you pray for, with the kids you pray for, with the job you pray for, with the car you pray for, and see a vlog of a chick that just bought a Mercedes, and all of a sudden everything you prayed for is not good enough anymore. That man that you prayed for, that godly man, all of a sudden he ain't good enough. And this is what he's talking about. And he's right. Women are primed and ready. We are primed and ready for this society to manipulate, condition, and control us. We are primed and ready because we are overly emotional.
Okay. All right. Straight like that. Appreciate that that insight right there. Let me check these comments. Man. See, Donovan said on fleek, huh? You know, Donovan, I remember when On Fleek was a thing, man. This, you know, this stuff come in, it goes so quick, man. Shout out to my guy Civil. He said happy Wednesday, folks. What's going on, Civil? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight, brother. Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight. Hey, hold on, let me send this real fast. All right, cool.
I was gonna say while you send that link, I missed it. I was gonna play one portion of the video that I wanted to highlight that I didn't cover off on, but I wanted to see if you caught it. Let me see. I'm gonna go back, y'all.
Go ahead.
Like, I'm gonna do
you, and you're watching everybody. And that's a problem with
But I
itself.
said it to T before we came on, and I said, I feel like a lot of men, right? I said to you, present themselves to be like they have it like that. And that's why a lot of women feel like they deserve more than they deserve,
That's
right? I feel like you have a lot of men out here that is like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'll pay for this, I'll pay for that. And then they set that standard. I'm not saying it's right, guys. They set that standard for other men. So you have these women feeling like, well, if he did this, if Tyler did this, I'm not dating Q if he's not even doing that bare minimum. And they feel like every man should do that.
Then you have
know
a
what
bum
I'm
baby
saying?
father. Then you have a bum baby father. You have a whole bum baby father, and now you create these diabolical standards. When you was giving your most intimate prize to a loser. And that don't make sense. It don't add up.
You see how she started? You see how she immediately, everything that he said, and he broke that down real good. Everything that he said, and she immediately went to blame men. He explained a woman's psychology and emotion, a woman's emotional, aptitude, and then she goes right into, well, I think a lot of it is men's fault because they create these realistic expectations that women have because some of them are willing to do this, this, and this, and so other men are seeing that and then they feel like they have to do it too. And now women are like, this is okay. Well, I'm not even going to date this person because they're not doing what this person is doing. It's like, so now it's the man's fault.
Right. Yeah. Let me read this comment real quick. Shout out to Tweet Bell in the building. She said, sorry, I'm not in competition with nobody. I've never been average. Things and stuff a lot of folks are doing are just, and just getting as an adult, I had as a kid. Folks worry about the wrong stuff. Go get deeds, land, money, and businesses. Tweet. Now I said I understand. I said shout out to Tweet for dropping that comment. Tweet. I just sent you the link so your comments will come through. To the show itself. So Tweet to your comment. There are definitely some ladies who are not in competition with other ladies, right? They're doing what they do, and that's that, right? But then we also know on the flip side, we do have a lot of that going on, right? Because at the end of the day, and I'll say this, at some point, we got to break this. I'm watching the video. Let's say the gentleman, he's valid. You know what I'm saying? To some of the points that he made, he valid. So I can't even act like my man ain't valid on what he said, right? Yeah, we have a lot of average folks out here who have these above average wants or above average expectations or whatever. Essentially, a lot of it is delusion. That's really what it is. It really ain't. It's not even necessarily just the average piece. A lot of it's just the delusion in general, right? But the reason why I say that at some point we got to break this. You have to understand at some point how deep your conditioning goes. Yeah, we living in a world today where we have folks who are, let's just call it what it is. They average, regular, everyday folks. And they're now flipping their nose up or looking down upon folks who doing the same things they doing. Yeah, working a regular job, working a 9 to 5, driving a whatever they driving, living wherever they living, and so forth, right? So we got a situation where folks that are literally working, paying bills, and living life, they're now frowning at folks doing the same exact thing. Let me just be honest with you. That's conditioning. Yep, that's conditioning. Yet when we have a situation where we have a woman that comes across a man who checks the boxes, who brings the stability, who brings the leadership, who brings the provision, who provides the structure, essentially the man that ladies have been praying for. He's 6 feet tall, he all that. Yep, if he is not out here keeping you locked into some material stuff, you ready to frown at him. Yep, and that's crazy work. Yep, and this is why I've said before, if this is your mentality, or if this is how you looking at things, just go be by yourself. Yeah, because that is not a relationship mindset. Yeah, that's not a collaborative mindset. That is not a partnership mindset. Like that's not a marriage mindset. That's not going to work. Yep. So if that's where your mind is at and that's how you thinking, just go be by yourself and come up out of the relationship space. Stop wasting people's time. Yeah, because that's not going to get you nowhere. Yep, it's really not. The other thing I'll say, and then I'm gonna be done with this. Man. At some point, as a people, we got to get off this material train. Yeah, this stuff really got us crazy out here. It's really got us spazzed out. Like, man, these Louis bags, these Birkin bags, these watches, these cars, these Mercedes, all this mess. Like this mess got us so conditioned to where, for some of us, we losing sight of reality and what's real. Yeah, we out here comparing ourselves off this material stuff. But let's just be honest, that really holds no value. Like, why are we comparing people off some material stuff? Like, I mean, come on, like let's be for real about that. Yeah, why are we out here comparing people off some material stuff? Like that mess even matters. Like, I just I don't understand, man. I don't understand. I don't even want to go there, man. I don't even want to go there tonight. Let me check these comments, man. See, Donovan said, let's see, live below your means and you just might feel rich. And you know what, Donovan, even this, man, I feel like this statement needs to be adjusted.
Mic check.
Yep. Is it living below your means, or is it being realistic? Yeah, but I think sometimes that's really what it comes down to. Folks got to be realistic. And that's what folks are not doing right now. They're not being realistic, man. It's like I said, the delusion is running wild right now. See, Donovan also said the correct watches are investment assets. This can be true. Yeah, this can be true. Some brands, some models can be investment assets, as long as they are untouched. Yep. So they can't be modified. You don't want them modified. You don't want them, what y'all call it, bust down, stones, whatever, all this other little nonsense, all this little diamond and whatever y'all doing to this stuff. Yeah. So that's a whole nother thing. But no, this is a valid point. Some watches can be investment assets. That is true. And Donovan also said realistic. I'll buy that. Yeah, no, man, I think for a lot of this, man, it's coming back to reality. Yep. And then people are trying to live outside of what is real So it comes off as if it is living below your means, but it's really you being realistic. Yeah, and that's the part that a lot of folks don't want to be. They don't want to do the realistic thing. Okay, let me check back in. See, we got Joe, we got Cole. I don't know if y'all want to say anything. Just go and say what you want to say. Then we'll keep moving after that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, man. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. That's weird. I can't see myself. That's weird. I've actually ran across that video by accident when I was on Facebook and saw it. I mean, I wasn't surprised by his response or the woman's response, but I mean, you kind of see a lot of that, and it's because of social media. I did touch on it before a while ago, but you notice that people who are average, who themselves are average, but want exceptional people or exceptional results or fantastical alternate reality. Like they imagine themselves living this high life. I mean, it's kind of like you see a fat person trying to fit in a Lamborghini. It doesn't work, right? So for someone who's trying to do something that it's just they're punching outside their weight class. If you can imagine like a Mike Tyson fighting like a Manny Pacquiao, it is not very wide, right? So even those people who are exceptional in whatever they are in the lane that they're on, they focus on competing amongst those in their own lane, their own social status, their own circle, because there are just certain people that you're not going to be the next one. You're not going to be the next Kim Kardashian, but everyone wants to be there. And so you have a lot of women who fantasize being that, but they don't have the resources. They don't have the looks. They don't have the social circle to make that type of lifestyle happen. Like 95% of us, average. You got the 5%, politicians. There's a certain class of people that everyone wants to be in, but they don't qualify to be in. So that's one thing. But then it's them being in that particular lane and wanting to swerve in a totally different lane that they simply can find themselves in. So and it looks awkward because it's like how is it that you're not attracted to me, but you're in the same you work the same job I work, for example. You're in a warehouse as much as I'm in a warehouse. You're working at Amazon like I work at Amazon. You know, if you're a CEO of a company, you're probably going to get someone who's a CEO. So it's like if you're a model, you're probably going to get models. It's typically how that works. And what ends up happening is I guess maybe I should, I hate to use myself as an example, but I see it how they would reject certain men that it's like, oh, that person he'll be a good man for you. But then they turn around and look at me and think that me being like 6'2", how awkward it is for me to walk around with a woman who's like 5'3". It's, it's very difficult to be intimate with a woman at that height. But they think in their mind it's romantic for them. But in my mind, I'm like, no, I want someone that's closer to my height. Not at my height, but like 5'8", 5'9". But that's realistic for me. And it's also more comfortable for me. But they're 5'2", saying that a man who's 5'5" is short. It's crazy to me. When he's 3 or 4 inches taller than you. So you're still going above where you are, but you want to go above and beyond where you are, whether it be height, whether it be money, whether it be career paths, whether it be whatever. And I guess their delusion to me, that's what they want to live in, this fantasy world. That's fine, but it's not going to get them realistic results. In the end, they're just going to be left disappointed and single and still searching for that unicorn of a person, be it man or female, that they're not likely to achieve. So instead of getting what they know they can get and being satisfied with that, based on where they are themselves, they're going for something that they just it's I don't laugh about it. I just kind of like that's crazy because I don't even think, oh yeah, I'm going to get Bill Gates' daughter. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm just going to shoot for that, but I'm not anywhere in those circles. So I know what I can get and I go for it. So I don't understand why women don't do the same. They used to, but it's social media. They see too many people doing things that other people do that they think that they can do, but it's called social media for a reason. They're showing their life, not what your life can be. So that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, and then to add an additional caveat to that, Joe, they're showing you the best parts of their life. So that's the thing. Let's
Ooh,
see, a lot of folks on social media, they don't show you all of their life. They show you the best parts. So like Coco was saying, they show you when they're on vacation. They don't
the
show you
highlight
those
reel.
other months where, like you said, they in the warehouse and they on the high low and whatever, and the hair ain't done, or for the fellas, the car ain't washed and he ain't got some brand. Like they don't show you that, or when they over here wrangling the kids and one of the babies spitting up on your shirt. See, they don't show you all of that. Yeah, they only show you when they put the baby in the polo outfit and they all go out to brunch, and they sitting here eating some old whipped cream, apple, peach, French toast or some nonsense. Then they post that. Yeah, but they
With
don't
the
post
special
when the
lighting
baby ain't
and any
sleeping.
post.
Yeah. Yeah, when the baby ain't sleeping and they working on 3 hours of sleep and they don't show you that part. So yeah, that's the delusion of it. And I think people buy into that. And then they start comparing or holding that over the heads of regular folks. Yep, and that's when it goes south. Because at the end of the day, that's most of the time it's an inaccurate depiction of what this person has going on. But when you try to hold that over the head or compare that to somebody who's living in the real world, working a real job, dealing with a real 15-minute break because he on the line, now all of a sudden he ain't gonna cut it, and I see the videos. I saw a video the other day of some young lady, talking about she can't be with a dude who working 9 to 5 because she want to just be able to pop up and go to say she about to catch a flight to Jamaica. And I'm like, what's funny about that? I'm like, when I saw the video and I heard her say it, she was a little young female too. She probably was in her 20s or 30s or something. So clearly she done, she got some type of little hustle, whatever she doing. But I'm like, lady, the part that y'all don't realize is that sounds good. But even the man who is making that type of money, who does have that type of time, he probably still ain't about to bust up and go to Jamaica. Yeah, let me just be real about it. Yep, even that dude with that type of money and that type of motion, he ain't about to just pop up and run to Jamaica. Because at the end of the day, he trying to figure out how to make more of that cash. Yep, and see, this is the thing. It's just like when these folks make these videos and you let them talk long enough, you get a chance to really understand what's wrong. And yep, when I hear things like that, this is how I know. Yeah, ain't no fellas checking for you like that.
Because you
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
have
it's
to say all
because
that if it was happening. If it was happening
no,
to that point, they don't talk about it. It's just their life. They're not saying this is what I expect, this is what I want. I want a man who does this and that. They're already with that type of man. They're already living that kind of lifestyle. They're not saying what they want from someone else outside of themselves. Chances are they're already living it. They have other men who are sponsoring them, who allows them to live that kind of lifestyle because they have the certain beauty, look, and appeal that those men of that wealth class desire. And that's a very small sliver percentage of women. I know because I've been around. It's all in the modeling industry. I see it. It's like, okay, this is how it goes down. So last thing, did y'all catch how she tried to flip it at the end and try to blame us for I it was like so subtle. And I think he was like thinking, like, wait a second. But the way he came back, I said, wait. Now she's not wrong in the sense that, yeah, you got their resources, flashing money and cars. But yet, when I grew up, a lot of these guys did it because they knew that that's what the woman wanted. So it's kind of like, I got to get this fast money and do what I got to do to get it, sometimes illegally, not because that's what I want, but because that's what the woman wants. So men would typically do things that women want, which is as far as resources and whatever it is to attract the woman. So yeah, the men are doing it, but it's why are they doing it? It's because the expectation is you have a lot of women saying that they want this high style, this high lifestyle, this extraordinary sort of life. And so you got the guys say, well, I gotta flash some money. I gotta flash some car. I'm not saying it's right. So she's not wrong in that sense, but the way she tried to flip it as if It was the reason why women are materialistic is because of men. I would say the men now, and maybe I'm speaking for myself. I don't think I am. I have a lot of male friends and family members. We can live on a lot less than a lot of women can even imagine. We can pitch a tent outside and call it a day. We don't really need a whole lot. You walk into our house, if you're living alone, it's pretty bare bones. Women come in there, they start adding things, decorations. We don't care. Give us a bed, put it on the floor, call it a wrap. I've slept on the floor for months at a time. I don't need no. I've had women say you should get a bed. Oh yeah, you're probably right about that. Just like little things like that, and I'm comfortable like that. So a lot of the material things we get to make it for the comfort of women, to make them more comfortable. Whether it's a nicer home, a bigger home, a spacious backyard, a lot of stuff that we get and we acquire is because we want to attract a typical a woman who feels safe, secure, or whatever. We can live on a lot less. We don't need a whole lot of material things. Give us one pair of shoes, we good.
No,
Give
I
a
understand
woman a
what you're
pair of
saying.
shoes. She wants the same pair of shoes in 10 different colors. So it's different.
No,
But
I
I'll leave it
understand. I
alone.
understand what you're saying. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Cole or Beatbox, I don't know if y'all want to say anything, so just let me know if y'all good. Cole down. If she
Cole?
quiet,
I'm
she
good for
might.
now.
Cool.
Okay.
You good, Cole?
Huh? I'm good.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
No, she
Hold on, I
she
can say
good,
something
man.
now. Hold on.
Don't let Beatbox get to you. He ain't seen
Oh
you in a
no.
minute.
What y'all wait, what y'all want? I know, right? What you want me to say?
But no, you good, Cole. You ain't got to say nothing if you don't want to say nothing. You good, you good. But yeah, we just like I said, we got to come up off of this stuff. Yeah, we got to come up off of this stuff. Yeah, I'm learning that that's one thing that we good at. We can definitely find a reason not to be in a successful relationship. Yeah, that is a fact. Like we can find something. If somebody's money, somebody's, how they spending their money, somebody's height, somebody weight, somebody hair, somebody skin complexion, like we can find a reason, boy, not to be in a relationship. We can find it. Yeah, but then come right behind that and can give multiple reasons why we want to be in one. And I'm like, make it make sense. Yeah, make it make sense. So yeah, with this particular topic, with this particular video right here, yeah, for me, this is just all conditioning for me. Yeah, but it's all conditioning for me. Let's say we've even been conditioned to the point where we feel like each other is not enough. Yeah, we literally at a point in 2026, we feel like each other is not enough. Yeah, Joe touched on it earlier. Y'all can literally went to the same college, both got y'all degrees, end up at the same Rocket Mortgage together, and still feel like one y'all ain't good enough. Somebody falling short. And it's just like how we get to that point. Yep, how do we get to that point? Yes, it's the craziest thing. It's the craziest thing. Yep, I'll give y'all an example of it, right? So we can have a situation right now where a young lady has a choice between two men. One man can be Mr. Flashy. He gonna buy the purses and the bags and the Von Cleef and he gonna buy all that stuff. He gonna take the vacations and all of that. And then the other man can be a more simple man, but he the type of man that this woman, she ain't got to worry about nothing. And we in a day and age now where the dude, that's the type of dude that handles business to where this woman ain't got to worry about nothing. We would look at him as the dude who ain't good enough.
That
And that's
sounds like
crazy.
video. That sounds like video number 2.
Was that is that green sweater down here? Do I need to go on and go to video number 2? Is that is that green sweater right there?
Bored with the man that can give you stability, but broke Ray Ray feels exciting. And you know why? You're bored with the man that can give you stability.
Hold on, y'all. Y'all have to turn the volume up. She's low.
You're bored with the man that can give you stability, but broke Ray Ray feels exciting. And you know why? Because chaos gives you stories for your girlfriends. Y'all can kiki over wine about how much fun you had with broke Ray Ray. Because drama feels entertaining when peace feels unfamiliar. So now the dependable man is too boring, but the emotionally unstable man with no direction, that's the one that's keeping your attention. And you know, the crazy part is that you're choosing temporary excitement over long-term security. A few emotional highs now for years of struggle later? Don't sign me up. Stop making decisions based on chemistry alone. Every connection that feels intense is not healthy. Sometimes dysfunction feels exciting because you are addicted to unpredictability. So stop thinking with Miss Murphy and start thinking about your future. Like, who can lead? Who can build? Who can protect your peace long term? Because excitement fades fast. But the consequences of choosing the wrong man, baby, that can last a lifetime.
No, she wasn't lying about that. She was definitely not lying about that. So yeah, I didn't even know that's where she's about to go with it. But yeah, that was that's what I was talking about. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. And I said those are the times that we in. Yeah, that person would that guy would be not enough. He wouldn't be good enough. He's not exciting enough, but yet he's the guy that you can be with him and you ain't got to worry about nothing. It's like, yeah, it's just wild. But let me pose this question real quick. I need the ladies to chime in because I'm trying to understand something. Because there's this statement, this question that I hear in almost every single video that comes out today. And I really need to understand what's really behind it. This lady said it in this video too. So ladies, I need y'all to chime in on this question for me. What does it mean to y'all when y'all say that y'all want this man to lead? Like I need a lady to keep it all the way real. I keep seeing that and hearing that in all of the videos. The young girls are saying it, the older women are saying it, the women aged in the middle is saying it. What does that mean to y'all when y'all say that? When y'all say, I need this man to lead or I need this man to be a leader, what does that mean for women today in 2026? All ladies, don't be quiet. I know it's a whole bunch of y'all. Y'all on the panel, y'all in the comments. Come on now, don't be quiet. Come on, Cole. What does that mean? Keep it a buck with me.
Sure.
Yeah. So when when I see the post on social media, it's typically in the context of like they'll say like, I need him to plan a date and I need him to, have everything in order. Man lead. They say something else at the end, but so that's that context, which I would say is very to this subgroup, one of the subgroups that come off as the majority. Um, in that context, I guess they're just like they don't want the guy to be on the sideline. They want him to be organized and communicate where they want to go.
Okay.
In my context, I want someone to have like some provision, some guidance to be able to, in certain situations, govern us as a unit. So in my context, that's what it would mean.
Okay.
And everything else we figure out. But that, from my context, that's mainly for me what it means.
Okay.
How does
All
that
right.
look? How does that look? So when a man, so you're saying that you
Oh,
want,
mhm.
for you, it means like, a man being able to, govern the both of you guys, what does that look like? What does a relationship where that he's leading, what does that look like practically speaking? Because obviously you feel differently about leadership
Good question.
than other women.
So I'm gonna say, uh, um, when it has come to, I'm gonna say I am not fully, um, I don't know what the word is. I can't fully describe what that would look for me just yet, because there's obviously some things that I'm still learning. Um, Beatbox, don't say nothing, especially if I say something.
Go ahead, girl.
um,
Oh, come on.
Don't worry about him. Go ahead, girl.
I
but
didn't
if
do
I can
anything.
speak on the the like relationships in terms of males that I have been around recently, um, one in particular, I think it would look like him not necessarily raising his voice, but him being really watching for the tone, and know that he's a mention once type of guy. And it's really, if he mentioned it once, if you do it again, he cutting you off. Um, so it might look like that depending on the male. And in some instances, I mean, some give a little bit more grace with it's like, hey, let's have this conversation like to the side, probably not in public, little correction. And I mean, it depends on the severity of the situation. But it typically is like a conversation followed up with some like, don't do that, or you should know better, depending on the person.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get down to it. Any other ladies? Let's I gotta check the ladies first. Coco, I know Kenyatta was in the comments. Tweet is out there as well. Actually here, I think this might be one right here. Let me get this comment real fast. I think that's Bree Mumbasi. I think that's how I'm saying it. Let me know if I'm saying that right. It usually has nuances, but a serious woman who is not surface level knows it means wanting a man who demonstrates decisiveness, takes initiative, and provides emotional security. Okay. All right. Appreciate that right there. So that sheds a little bit of light. Coco, I know if you want to say something on that.
Yeah, I was going to say that I think that the reason why we have these different definitions, which is why, I mean, honestly, I like Bree's definition. I like the fact that you didn't lead with money or financial provision. Not that that's not a part of it. Unfortunately, I think that we have focused as women, we focus too much. We spent too much time focused on the financial provision part of it, because provision is more than just the finances. When you say you want a man to provide, I need women to understand that his provision is going to come in different ways. It's not just going to be his financial provision. And so I like when a woman gives a definition that uh, encompasses all that a man is supposed to bring into the equation, right? What I'm going to offer is that, I mean, I think Bree has broken it down. So what I'm going to offer is that I think, based off of, this is my estimation, based off of what I've seen, okay, is that women don't know what leadership is from a male perspective. They don't understand male leadership. And now when I say women, obviously I'm talking in general. I'm not speaking for every single woman alive, because obviously that's not true. I can't speak for every single woman. But when I look at a lot of the women commenting on leadership and male leadership especially in the public forum. They just don't seem to get it, which is why when you ask them, it's different. You can ask 10 different ladies what male leadership is for them, and they're each going to give you a slightly different answer, but more than not, it's going to be about finances. That's going to be front and center. It might not be the only thing they say, but it's certainly going to be front and center, right? And then they're going to build everything else around that. And I think that at the end of the day, we need to first understand that our women, our modern women, meaning women, the women that we're talking to, the women that we're trying to encourage and in some ways instruct, mentor, they don't understand leadership from a male perspective. So they don't really actually know what to be asking of a man when it comes to leadership. They don't know how to accept or receive male leadership. And a lot of times it's because they haven't seen it. We're talking about a generation where the father wasn't in the home in a lot of cases. So they didn't get to see it in that way, right? And then unfortunately, they may not have had the best relationships with their mothers, or mom might have just been so busy trying to provide for everybody that she just may have been too busy to really understand that she needed to pour into her kids in a way that she just didn't have the capacity to do, right? So now they're missing sort of the understanding of what the dynamic looked like, and mom can't even say, or doesn't even take the time to say, well, you should be looking for this. This is what you should expect, right? So now they don't have that perspective from a female. They don't have the male perspective. So they just really don't know, right? This is where I do think some level of grace from a male perspective does need to come in. Understanding that she may genuinely not understand what male leadership is because she hasn't had that example. The problem, though, is we can't ask men to then have grace and understand that there may be some missing pieces because of your lifestyle and how you grew up and just your circumstances, We can't ask men to have grace, but then women on the other side are saying, I don't want to date a man if he ain't have a daddy. Like it doesn't, we can't do that. Ladies, we can't do that. We also can't say, well, if he didn't have a male role model, then, you know what I'm saying, he might be lacking some things, and he might have to learn as he go. He literally may have to do that. As a woman, you're asking him to be okay with the fact that you kind of have to learn as you go. Then you need to understand that that man still deserves your submission, even if he has not reached maturation in his leadership. I'm asking you to still submit to this man, even though clearly he has not reached maturation in his leadership. You haven't reached a maturation in your submission. It's the same thing. So let's talk about leadership. I'm cool. Let's have the conversation. But if you don't really know what leadership is, then let's have a different conversation then. Let's first talk about that. Then y'all can go around here trying to vet whether or not a man is a leader or not. You got to know what you're looking for. This is why old girl's video went in the video that we just played, where she said that y'all are looking for a good time, not a long time. And then you get the good time, but the problem is he's so exciting. It's so toxic. You love it. And then that's the man that knocks you up. Now the good time turns into a long time, but he was never supposed to be that. And now your baby daddy this, your baby daddy that, your baby daddy this. And then you become the girl from the video from the week before that's like, I just wasn't good enough. He just decided I wasn't good enough. And I met my friend Wetton, and I'm trying to figure out why her baby daddy thought she was good enough, but my baby daddy didn't think I was good enough, because you was with Mr. Good Time, Not Long Time. So just saying, ladies, it's 2026. Let's be better going into 27. We're not going to take this. We're not going to do it. We're not going to take this stuff into 2027. We're going to learn how to accept accountability for our actions. We're going to do that this year. This year, we're going to learn how to accept accountability for our actions. And at the end of the day, a lot of y'all are asking for things, and you don't even really know what you're asking for. You don't know how to answer a man when he asks you about what you bring to the table, because you don't really know what you're supposed to be bringing. And I think it's time for us to just say we don't know and be real about it. So that then, as men and women, now we can have a different conversation, right? So now the men can talk about maybe what they don't actually, they're not quite equipped yet, or they're still learning to be equipped for. And then the women can have a conversation about the fact that they don't know these things. And now we can have a different kind of conversation. Maybe we can get somewhere. Instead, we overcompensate for what we don't know and what we don't have. And now we spend time arguing with each other back and forth because neither one of us wants to take accountability for our own ish. And that's really where we at. Not to go off on a tangent, I'm sorry, y'all. But it is what it is. That's how we keep getting here on this leadership conversation over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was curious, right? Yeah, I was curious because I hear that so many times, right? And you just touched on something that I think is valid to in connection with my question, right? You just touched on this whole, young ladies not being able to tell you, what they bring to the table and so forth. And I see those videos as well. Young ladies saying this is a stupid question. If any dude ever asks me that, I'm saying, I'm not entertaining him and this and that and this and that. And I'm like, ladies, at this point, you don't have that option. Yeah, you need to go ahead and answer that. Because see, at the end of the day, this is partially your fault. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It's partially your fault. Because see, at the end, back when I came through, yeah, I'm the old head up here on the panel right now. Back when I came through, we didn't have to ask women these types of questions. We didn't. Yeah, we didn't have to ask them what they brought to no table. We didn't have to ask them, was they submissive? We didn't have to ask them, were they willing to follow? We didn't have to ask them, did they know how to cook? We didn't have to ask them none of that. Yeah, we met young ladies. We had conversations. We dated young ladies. And ladies showed, or they represented what they were about. Yeah, there was no question there. So you already knew if she could cook. You already knew if she was the submissive type, the following, support the leader type. You already knew these things because her actions and the way she moved validated these things and answered your questions. Yep, today we got a lot of garbage going on. Yeah, let's just be real. We got a lot of delusion going on. We got a lot of fronting going on. We got a lot of fraudsters and scammers out here going on. We got a lot of manipulation going on. So yeah, now fellas is asking. Yeah, but at the end of the day, if that dude is the one that you trying to lock on, you're gonna have to answer the question. You better get your answer ready. Because y'all done messed that up. Yep, y'all done messed that up. So that's just for that little piece. But let me circle back to the reason why I was asking about this leadership, because I continue to hear this in all the videos. This is like the top question. Yeah, one, are you a leader or do you know how to lead? And two, are you a protector provider? It's the same stuff over and over and over again. Yep. So the reason I asked that question, what does leadership look like to y'all, or what do y'all mean when y'all ask, can this man lead? It's really because based on what I see, I don't hear anybody asking, am I ready to follow?
Good point.
I never hear that in any of the videos. Yep, I never hear I'm a good follower, I'm a good teammate, I'm a good supporter. I'm ready to get in line with what he talking about doing for the family. I never hear that in videos. Yep, the only time that ever comes up is when you come across the married woman and she make a video and she's talking like that, and then all the females jump in the comments and attack her and she's a pick me and she all this and all that and all that. That's when that come up. But outside of that, you don't hear that. I don't hear no ladies out here talking about, hey fellas, I'm a great follower, I'm ready to get on your team. I don't hear that. Yeah, so maybe that's not my algorithm. I don't know.
You'll never hear it. You'll never hear that.
Clearly, because I ain't heard it. Yeah, so all I hear is ladies asking for leaders, but I never hear that they are ready to follow. If they're ready to support, like I don't hear that. Yeah, so I want to understand the mentality, because like I said, at the end of the day, this is another requirement that we holding for the fellas, but there's another side to that requirement that I never hear. Yeah, so I'm like, ladies, if y'all gonna keep running around talking about this leader stuff, then I need you to be ready to answer. How are you gonna support that leader? Yep, I need you to be ready to answer that. And you can't be stuttering either. Go ahead, Joe.
Isn't the implication when they ask that question is that they're like this strong, independent woman, which implies leadership. So they want a man to lead and go above and beyond their own choice and desire to lead. So it's kind of like they use that, I want you to wrangle me in, like you're taking a rope to a horse or something like that. Just a wild stallion, yeah. Like that's the kind of, it's not that gentle leadership like a Christ would, right? Where people are following his will and they want a man to almost damn near put hands on them. That's their because that's almost what would have to take for them to override their sense of I'm a leader. I'm a leader, so I need you to be a leader times two. Like, and put that kind of stress on a man, and it's like man just wants to just look. If I tell you to do something, I shouldn't have to knock you upside the head or threaten such for you to follow my lead because you're so much of a leader. So it's they want it, but because that's in their nature, but they want you to do it above and beyond what I feel is natural for most men to want to do, unless they're a convict, ex-con, right? They don't mind putting their hands on it. So that's probably why they gravitate to some of those kind of men, because they go above and beyond what a leader would typically do to get a woman to kind of follow their lead so they can be on one accord. Like you got to make me do it. You gotta raise your voice. You got to scream at me, which causes a lot of stress in them. And for some of them, it turns them on. Secondly, I did want to touch real quickly on what I've been told, and I thought it was pretty eloquent. What a woman told me what she found in me as a leader, which I wasn't aware of, but it had nothing to do with money, provision. Um, which I think is a common thing a lot of men do think it is because they go and get money and they realize, oh, women can use you for your money. That doesn't necessarily mean that they see you as a leader, because a lot of men can provide, but that doesn't necessarily inspire a woman to follow that particular man. She told me it was just simply in the way that I am. It's energy. So a man's presence is his leadership. A woman can feel it, sense it, and then they naturally sort of fall in line with it. And I've seen that happen so many times. And with this one particular, she was able to articulate exactly what that was. I've seen women, it short circuit their brain. They don't know why they're suddenly listening to what I'm saying or following me. And I'm not out here saying, I'm going to give you X amount of money. I'm going to do this for you. It's just, it's a spiritual energetic kind of deal that very few are aware of what it is, but when they feel it, they tend to just gravitate towards it. So it's them gravitating towards whatever energy that man has. If he has an abundance of it, then she is going to want to be attached to it, because women generally want attention, right? So to be a provider for a woman at the biological level is attention, right? And that man who is present, who has an abundance of his energy, for a woman, he feels safe to her. So he's also emotionally intelligent and he has situational awareness, right? He's aware of how she feels in those circumstances. Because he's present with his energy. When he is a container of the energy, he's aware of her feelings and emotions. So if she's feeling things, she's able to see it. If she's thinking things, she's able to sense it in a way. And that makes him a leader. He's moving ahead of her and kind of moving things around, whether it be financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically. That doesn't mean a man has to be perfect in all those areas. I know I'm certainly not that. But at the core of it, it's a man who has a strong masculine presence, which a lot of men don't have because they don't work out, because they're lazy, because they have a poor diet, and their testosterone are tanking. So a man with high testosterone, typically a woman's going to feel it. So this is how men like myself, like beatboxing, like a lot of my friends that I hang around of that same caliber, they don't have all the money in the world. And money is kind of like a byproduct. Money is something that a woman would settle for if a man doesn't have a lot of that real masculine energy she wants. Okay, well, he doesn't have that. I can't really, I don't feel anything, but at least he got money. He got that, so at least I can get that from him. So it's actually like a last thing because money can be in any form. It just so happens to be currency today. It used to be gold and silver. It used to be seashells and shit. So money is transient, but a man's energy is forever, is permanent. They say energy never dies. So that's what women actually gravitate toward. So me understanding that, seeing it in my eyes and it being told to me, I was impressed. She was like, yeah, this is exactly what it is. I was like, damn, how did you, out of all these women I've dated, you're the first one to actually describe what she was feeling because most women can't describe it. So if they don't feel that, then money becomes okay, that's the solution. Okay, material things, that becomes the solution. A lot of men don't have that presence of energy. Whatever that is, that's something within them that's lacking in a lot of men today. They don't feel it. Then the other things become the leader for them. So that's just at least my personal experience. It's a little bit more of a deeper analysis on what a leader is, but I think that's probably closer to the truth than a lot of what people say leader is today.
Okay. Yeah. No, listen, I just want to understand it. Because I said it's something that it's on repeat. I hear it multiple times a day. Because I see a lot of content. I hear it multiple times a day. And I'm just like, what does this mean to the ladies today when they ask for this? Like what does it mean? Are they even considering what comes with that? Right, because at the end of the day, we talking about a leader, we talking about somebody who's providing structure and the direction and the plan, and this is what we about to do, and I need you to play this position and so forth. But it's like at that same time, do some of those ladies, do you realize you also can get fired? Let's just keep it a bean. Do you realize you can get fired if you ain't a good team player? Like, does that thought happen? Yes, I just want to make sure that folks actually understand and are prepared, because that's the key. Are prepared for what they're asking for and requesting. Yeah, because this is the problem that I'm seeing is a lot of folks are not, they're not prepared for what they're asking for. Yeah, they're not prepared for it. They want the benefits of it, but they're not prepared. Yep, and that's a lot of our issue. We want to do preparation after the fact, and that's too late. Yeah, you're supposed to be ready before, but we want to do it after the fact. Yep, and that's just not how that's supposed to go. So if anything, we got to make that change. Yep, have yourself or get yourself ready, get in the right mindset before you go asking for things, so that you understand what you're asking for and you prepared to do your part. Yeah, because it's not one side. Let me get this comment, then we're gonna keep it moving. Kenyatta said, I see I'm doing a lot while listening. A leader to me has discernment, and I know when I turn my brain off, he has our backs. He is someone I want to follow and have no hesitation about his decision making. I'm learning to keep my brain on. Okay, no, I understand that. Yeah, definitely a dude that's gonna have your back. That's definitely key. Yeah, that's definitely key. So all right, let me keep going, man. We ain't gonna be on here all night. Let me keep going. I'm trying to keep my 10 o'clock cut if I can.
So can somebody help me understand it? Because I don't speak slow. When y'all begin on the internet talking about, oh, y'all be accepting the bare minimum for these niggas, help me understand what the fuck the bare minimum is when ain't nobody obligated to do shit for your grown ass in the first place. First of all, the bare minimum is nothing. Because as an adult, don't nobody owe you shit. Not your mama, not your daddy, not your siblings, not your friends, not nobody you fucking. Don't nobody owe you shit. So anything that anybody do for you is above the bare fucking minimum. So that part right there, you can't make me fucking understand. At the end of the day, I don't give a damn if somebody buy your grown ass a $5 fucking meal from McDonald's. That's more than they had to do. Then nobody have to feed your overly grown ass. It's your job to feed you, not nobody else. And at the end of the day, a man that you fucking ain't got no reason to goddamn do nothing for you. Because at the end of the day, if you sell the ass, then just put a price tag on it and sell the ass. But a man that's dating you and courting your stupid ass and getting to know your stupid ass don't have to feed you, bitch. That's your job. I don't give a damn if somebody give you $10 to put in your gas tank. That's above the bare minimum. Because at the end of the day, it's your job to put your goddamn gas in your car. That's your fucking car. So when y'all be sitting out here talking about somebody doing a bare minimum, that shit behooves me. Like, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Then they be sitting here calling you, see that you and your goddamn kids eat. Bitch, they daddy ain't even check to see that them crumb snatching motherfuckers eat. How the fuck is this man doing a bare minimum by feeding you and your motherfucking children, and they ain't even his motherfucking children? He gonna pick your kids up for school because you got to work late, but this man doing the bare motherfucking minimum. Bitch, you sound dumb, and you look even fucking dumber. They goddamn, they real dad don't even know what goddamn school they go to, and this man doing extra shit for you and them crumb snatching ass motherfuckers, and you talking about he doing a bare minimum. I see why y'all niggas don't do nothing for these bitches. I see why y'all fuck them and goddamn get the fuck on, because these bitches don't deserve shit. I don't fucking blame y'all. Keep doing what you're doing.
Woo!
And the church says,
I ain't got nothing to say.
When I saw the video, I was like, her language, but it's just that she made so many valid points that I was just like, I mean, not.
Yeah, she did. I mean, ain't nothing you can say. See, Donovan said she got that accent. Yeah, no, she definitely had that accent, man. She definitely had that accent. Yeah, did she say anything wrong? I can't say that she did. Yeah, she threw the language in there, but I can't say that she did. Like,
where do we get the Lord have mercy, Jesus. Where do we get the expectation? Where do we get the expectation that another man who is not the father of your children is supposed to want to come in and do all of these things for your children that you had with another man or other men? It's just like, where are we getting the expectations of this as women? I mean, why do we think that, right? Like, I don't, yeah, I mean, this is where I feel like the delusion monster comes in. The spirit of delusion that has fallen on, just womankind. Like, I just don't get it. If a man does decide to come into your life and he cares about you, wants to be a part of your life, so of course he understands your children are a part of the package, and so he comes in and he wants to try to, at least have a relationship with your children that is comfortable, right? Because he knows that they're a package deal along with you, and he understands that. But it's the expectation that he should do these things that I don't know where that comes from, because they have a father, and if you chose right, regardless if you stayed with this man or not, then he should be in their lives taking care of them. So why do you need this other man to? I just don't get it. I don't know, y'all. I'm tired. I keep telling y'all wearing me out. Because I'm just looking at it. I'm like,
Ridiculous, huh?
why? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
his
think it's
kid. Go
yeah,
ahead,
but
B-Box. Help me out because I'm struggling.
I think the problem is that I blame men for that. And I blame men for it because the generations before helped these ladies out, and there were there's I don't know, man. I at a point before I was born, I hear stories from like my family, especially the males, about how men came in, stepped in, and tried to be fathers to like children that weren't theirs, and how that was a bad idea. So I do think that there's some crossover of that, and women saying, "Well, that's what you're supposed to do, right?" You know, I screwed with the bad dude. He's doing nothing for me, so the good guy's got to pay full price. I think that's insane, but I blame men for that because that's what we were doing, and it's a shock to the system now because like a guy like me saying, "No, that's a bad idea. I'm not doing that," or as Mr. Price said, what we're saying, "Hey, what'd you bring to the table? What's in it for me? Let's say if I do that, what do I get?" A lot of women just look at you like, well, that's what you're supposed to do. Oh, is it now? So I do believe some of this stuff is on us, and we should have been as a group, should have been much more harsher socially than we should have than we were. I wish Sybil was here because she pointed basically kind of what me and Sybil have said, even though we're just debaucherous, but there's some women who are just all they are is a good time, man. That's it. And if you're a good time, I'm gonna mess with you, right?
Oh, come on.
It just is what it is. And women saying, "Well, I don't accept bare minimum." Yes, they do. They accept bare minimum for the guys that they really like. They don't want to say it. They don't want to say that. The bare minimum is their baby daddy, but they want you, the guy that doesn't make them tingle, to do all the work. It's that simple. Women want to say it. I don't know why women don't say it. I wish you would say it. I wish they would say, "I like the futures. I like the guys with the nice bodies." But the Russell Wilsons, you got to pay full price now. Remember, Russell, you the nice guy who doesn't mess with nobody, who's a kind of a nerd, you got to pay full price for me and Future's baby.
Ooh.
And you better like it. You better like it.
I don't like how you said that, man. I don't like how you said that, man. I don't like that.
Oh my God!
I don't like how you said that, man. I think you need to rephrase that, man. You need to assist me with my firstborn. I need you to rephrase that. I don't like how you said that, B-Box.
I'm sorry. I don't hearing it is bad, but you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say.
No, it's real. It's real. It's real. I mean, that's exactly what it was. I mean, I can't be mad at it. Yeah, Coco, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, there's some type of, I don't know, pay to play. I don't know what this is.
I mean, but I guess I don't get, where's the humility? Can we be for real for a second? Where's the humility? If you want a man to come into your situation knowing that you have another child or other children from previous relationships, why in the world would you not be more humble about it? Like, those women that you're talking about, B-Boxer, you know what I'm saying, they came in and they tried to, I guarantee you those women wasn't saying what they weren't going to do. I bet you they wasn't saying what they weren't going to do because they understood the assignment. They knew they had to do what they needed to do because they knew the situation that they were coming with. And it's just like, let's just be so for real for a second. I don't know why we play games. If you help me find it. If you are going to be in this type of situation, I'm trying to say this in a clean way. If you are coming into a situation with a man and he has presented himself to be a man that is responsible, reliable, dependable, good head on his shoulders, good leadership skills, and he's those things, okay? Then you just gonna have to do what you need to do to lock that down. I don't know why as women we're playing or pretending like, girl,
See,
I expect you to throw that thing in a circle. Like, I just don't understand why you don't understand that. You're gonna have to throw that thing in a circle. You're gonna have to make sure he always fed. You're gonna have to make sure that he has everything he needs, pack them lunches. I just don't get it. I just don't understand why you don't understand that.
Yeah,
y'all are asking for a man to do these things, but y'all still want to sit in a position like a young, unattached, single woman with, her 25-year-old body, like she got the pick of the litter. Y'all still want to act like y'all in that position. And that's just not the case. You can't get away with the same things that you probably could get away with before you had them kids. That's how you got them. You can't. You're not her no more. You're not that girl no more. It's not your situation anymore. Now you have to be more realistic. I mean, I just don't. I guess I just don't get it. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I mean, y'all know sometimes I say things like tongue in cheek, but at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is, and I'm not condoning y'all going out here sleeping around because that's how you got the baby in the first place. That's not what I'm trying to tell you. What I'm trying to say to you is, I'm sorry, but it's going to be hard for the man to hear that you are celibate. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for him to hear that. I'm not even listen, and ladies, I'm not telling you that you shouldn't be closing your legs. I'm actually telling you should close your legs. Please understand where I'm coming from. Sister Coco is not telling you that it's okay for you to dip it low and spread it wide. I am not telling you that it's okay for you to do that. I'm just simply saying that man is going to look at you all types of sideways when you tell him that you got 2 kids with 2 different fathers and you want him to be the stepdaddy and you are celibate.
That's weird. I've actually had that happen to me before.
He gonna look at you crazy. And I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe it shouldn't be that way. I understand it shouldn't be that way, but he is. Because the first thing he gonna be thinking is, why me? Why weren't you more careful, or why weren't you more guarded, or why didn't you say no to the first 2 men? Because if you said no to the first 2 men, we wouldn't even be in this situation then, and you come telling me some stuff like you waiting, then he might be like, well, I mean,
you're worth it.
She waiting, right? What can I say? But you didn't wait with the other 2 men, but now you want this man that you say is the type of man that you really need to be with to wait. And listen, please, I'm not telling you that you should not ask a man to wait, but I'm simply saying that y'all have to set realistic expectations. That man is probably going to look at you sideways. He is. He's absolutely going to. I tell you what, if you're going to make him wait for that, you better be coming with all the other things. Because he's going to be looking at it like, why me?
Wait, but Coco,
yeah.
I mean, you're supposed to wait because I found Jesus now. Jesus,
listen,
Jesus is
listen, and I'm with it. I'm on that type of time. I found Jesus too. He saved me too. Okay. He cleaned me up as well. Okay. Well, I ain't had an issue, but it don't matter. I found Jesus too. So I get it. I do get it. But then so my issue is if that's your position, then okay, cool. If your position is you found Jesus and this is where you're at and you would like to wait and all of those things, perhaps for you, one, you should look for a man that believes the same thing you believe. Because if he believes and is on the same type of time that you are on, then it won't even be a question. He's not even going to be asking you for that, because he's going to understand that that is something that you guys should refrain from. He's going to understand that y'all both going to be on the same type of time. So it's cool. It's not even a problem. But I'm just telling you that the average man who isn't on that same type of time is going to look at you sideways, because he's going to look at your situation and your circumstances, and he's going to want to know why did you wait for me? I'm just saying, y'all. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not condoning it. I'm just simply saying, as women, we need to start dealing in the real and not in the delusion of the situation. Perhaps for the woman who has chosen to save herself for marriage because she didn't do it in the past, because I think you should be able to change. I absolutely think you should be allowed to change. The person who you were doesn't have to be the person that you're going to be forever. Okay? I believe in change. I believe in transformation. I believe in Jesus coming into your life and changing and transforming you. That's what happens when Jesus comes into your life. So I understand that. But then your mindset should change too. Maybe you don't need to date until your kids are older then. Then it's not even a factor. It's not even an issue. That man is not coming in there to be a stepdaddy necessarily, because your kid's grown. He ain't got to worry about that really. That's not even a thing. So if that's where you're at, I respect it. Then maybe the way you approach dating just needs to be entirely different. I'm just asking women to be more realistic. That is all I'm asking. I am not telling you to, go against your morals. That's definitely not what I'm telling you to do. This is why we talk to women on this show, on this platform, and we say, don't even put yourself in a position where this is your problem. Close your legs. Don't even put yourself in a position where this is your problem. It's a safeguard for you. Don't even get yourself in this position. That's what I really would tell you. But now that you found yourself in this situation, you're going to have to be more realistic about your expectations. That is all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I think part of the issue, because I mean, you're making some valid points, Coco, but I think part of the issue is we've tried to switch the dynamic. And what I mean by that is a lot of what I see today, it's almost as if men have got put in a position where we are only here, essentially we're only here to impress women. Yeah, but that's part of the issue. Yeah, the dynamic literally has or we've tried to shift the dynamic. Yeah, because I even look at the requests, and it's like I need this list of things from the man. Yep, I need this list of things from the man before I'll entertain him. Yep, and it's the weirdest thing ever, because we don't do that anywhere else. Yeah, when you go to the interview, you don't have this list of things for the company before you'll apply. That ain't how they go. You usually come with your list of things that you bring into the company. Then they decide if you're worthy enough to join the company. But then for some reason in relationships, we want to flip it. It's like, now I need this, I see a good percentage of ladies today. Now I need this man to impress me before I'll entertain him. And it's like, where else is that going on? Yeah, when you go to buy that car, you coming with your list. This is my credit. This is my down payment. This is my bank that I'm using. This, like, you coming with your list to be able to get the car. But then when it comes to the relationship space, then it's you need to impress me. And it's just like, where does that come from? Yeah, so we've tried to shift the dynamic of what this looks like, and I think that's part of the issue. You know, going back to your point that you was making, Coco, this is why a young lady would feel like that. Yeah, because she switched the dynamic, so she probably feels like, and I'm not saying this is all situations, but I'm sure in some of these situations, she probably feels like, let me use y'all terminology from today. She probably feels like she's the prize. So this man, you want to come into my space, you need to impress me. And regardless of what I'm bringing to the situation, you need to impress me. So yeah, I think that piece is really playing into a lot of this. Yeah, we seeing some of these young ladies telling these dudes what type of date he need to take her on, how much he need to spend on the date. Yeah, I just saw a video of a young lady talking about the first date need to be a trip. Like, so now we telling dudes what they need to do so this lady will entertain him. And it's like, make that make sense.
Well, isn't it just common for a person or any human being to want to?
Oh, there it go. Go ahead, Joe. I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Isn't it pretty, well, I guess it's kind of common for if any human being, male or female, find an opportunity to take advantage of a situation. Most people probably would. If a woman doesn't have to, as Coco said, show humility, because the man doesn't demand it and he's accepting it, then she's going to do a Uno reverse card on him. She knows that he's the prize in the sense that she has these things and that he's taking on these things. But now, let me make sure I keep the prize. How do I do that? Well, if I can hold up these pair of cards and pretend I have a royal flush in my hand and lead him to believe that he could lose his entire hand, then all I have to do is keep the cards held up to my chest long enough to where he can't see it. If I can play a good bluff game, then I win. So a lot of it is emotional manipulation, reverse psychology. So they're doing it intentionally because women, honestly, they're very good at it. They are masters of the emotional side of a human being. They have to be for their own survival. Man, we're more physical, logical. You know, we don't get into the emotions, all that, unless we have to. So a woman can use that power and to manipulate a man in order to lead a man to believe, no, I'm the one that you're grateful to be with. No, I'm the one that's the person. No, you're the one that should be happy to be with me. And a man, if he's weak enough mentally and emotionally, especially emotionally, he's not going to pick up on that. He's going to start thinking, yeah, you're right. You know, I am lucky to have you as my girl. I am lucky. So now she got him wrapped around his finger. It is an emotional tactic, and it's very clever. It's evil, but people do a lot of evil shit. If they think they can get away with it, they probably go for it. A lot of people are not going to be this holy, godly person. I've met women who admitted to me that that's what they did almost as a career since they were in high school. Oh, she was a beautiful queen of the class, and I just got anything I want. Let's start off with, I'll just let him do my homework. Oh, damn, I see men I can push this button, push that button. And these same women would say, I've changed my ways. I'm not like that no more. And most of them are still have remnants of that in them, right? It's kind of hard when it's kind of like you see a wounded gazelle, right? And a woman will see it and say, oh, that man is wounded. I can get him. I can get him to believe he's worth less than what he really is. And a lot of men, because they're weak today, will fall for it. And it can be vice versa for women. If a man is stronger than a woman emotionally and mentally, he can do that. So you see examples of that. But I see far more examples of women having that ability than men do, simply because they have a lot more experience. It's their natural inclination. So they can use it either to elevate a man or degrade a man, let him degrade himself. So it depends on the woman. And a lot of women, unfortunately, are no good, and they will use their emotional they will use a man's emotions as well as their emotions. Oh my God, my baby, and then make you feel, because I want to take care of the kids too. Well, let me step in, and you falling for it. She's like, okay, she go in the back room. I got him. So it's human nature, unfortunately. And this is what we're seeing. It's just across the board. Maybe it's an American thing. I don't know. But I think, again, anyone who sees an opportunity to take advantage of a situation, they probably will. This is just how women typically do it. And men fall for it and they get mad about it. It's like, well, you got to develop an iron, you got to tougher skin. You got to get emotionally disciplined, sexually disciplined. You see a woman, oh, I just got to get some. She can get you that way too, because she knows you want what's between her legs more than what you're actually worth. You feel like that you're only worth what's between her legs, and if I can get that, then it's worth taking care of all these kids and providing all this and doing all this and that and coming up behind this other man just because of what she had between her legs. That's a lack of sexual discipline. So, oh, I know I got him because I got a vagina. That's all I need to have. Billions of women have it too, but for whatever reason, he loves mine the most. Okay, I'll play into that. It's crazy, but that's how it works, man. That's my theory.
No, that's, like I said, some validity there. I think that even that though, Joe, I think it's gonna have a shelf life. Yeah, but I think it's starting to have a shelf life. I think that's partially what's going on out here these days. I think that people have had tactics and they've worked in the past. And I think some of that stuff is not working as effectively as it used to. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think there's a lot of young ladies out here right now that are secretly frustrated because they thought that they would have a man at this point, be married, have some kids, have a family and so forth, and it hasn't happened. And for the life of them, they can't figure out what's going wrong. Yep, they know they look good. They know what y'all say. They know they got something between their legs that all the men want, but yet for some reason, they still don't have a solid man committed to them at their age. Let's just keep it a buck. And they got the career and they making the money and they got the cars and they take the trips and they go to brunch every week and they still can't figure out this one thing: how to get a decent quality man to commit to them and have a family and live happily ever after. That's the one thing that they haven't been able to figure out. And I'm willing to bet money there's a lot of that going on right now. Yeah, I'm willing to put money on it.
Well, it works until it doesn't, right? So usually they just age out of it. It can last up to the late 30s, maybe, possibly. And then when it stops working, they haven't developed the skill set on actually how to get that type of man that you described, the one who's stable, who provides for them, and how to respect the man properly. They've been able to get away with disrespecting men for so long. They don't know how to do anything else. So when you age out of that playbook, that does work. It works to a certain point. I guarantee you, if Sierra was, in her late 40s, I'm sure Russell Wilson would not have fell for that. She was young enough to where even with the kids and the future and the past that she had, he was willing to overlook it because she still had her beauty. She still had some level of fame, celebrity. But if she was 20 years older, or any older than she was, it would not have worked. So she played her cards well. But a lot of women don't. They keep playing the same playbook over and over and over and over again with the same type of man. And then they try to get the guy who's not going to fall for the okie doke, because that guy has probably been around those type of women enough to know I'm not going to fall for that again. So she's too old to get the guys who she really wants. And the guys that she wants don't want her anymore because they've been through the ringer before. So it becomes a stalemate. The poker hand only works so long until the man calls her bluff. When the man calls her bluff, now she's alone. And now she kind of has to figure that out on her own.
Okay. Well, we're going to leave it right there, man. That's where we're going to close that. Straight to the point. We're going to get on up out of here, man. I'm taking some closing and we're going to get on up out of here for the night, man. I'm coming across the top and the bottom and we gone. Coco, you want to say anything before we get out of here? You on mute. Come off mute.
I was muted. Average women think they deserve more. I think the delusion, unfortunately, I think is spreading. I do think that, first of all, let me just say this. Unpopular opinion. The majority of us is average. That's why it's called average. Like, the majority of us is average. I know, I get it. Like, we feel like we just we doing so much out here. Like, we so great. We're so great. But most of us, we're average. We're living average lives. We have not touched anything extraordinary. We have not touched anything that is, exquisite, or we are average. We are average. We just tend to think more of ourselves. And that's just the truth. A lot of women who are saying what they won't do, who they won't date, what they won't take. This man is doing the bare minimum. Y'all accept the bare minimum. You are the bare minimum. And I just don't know when it became a bad thing. Like, now all of a sudden, because you fall into the average category of people, now it's a bad thing. It's just weird how we have taken lives that we have worked hard for, educations that we've worked hard for, circumstances that we worked hard for, and because they are average, all of a sudden they're not good enough. And so I go back to the first video, and I agree with the man when he said, y'all are out here coveting other people's lives when you don't even know what their lives are about. And that's why I think it's so important for us to just kind of come off some of these platforms more frequently and touch grass. Like, you need to reconnect with what you value, because you're living your life now based off of other people's values and what other people are doing in their lives. And you don't even really know what that is, because nobody's being real anymore. Everything is so fake. Everybody is so fake. Everybody's putting on a show, doing things for attention, trying to be validated by everybody else. Like, you don't even know what's real or not. Like, you can go on social media right now and you don't even know how many of the posts are real or how many of them are AI generated. Like, you don't even know anymore. They are creating AI influencers. So now these people, they're not even real people. And this is how you're now measuring yourself. This is how you're judging yourselves. This is how you're measuring your lifestyles. This is how you're measuring your husbands. This is how all of this is being compared to things that it's an illusion. And so, yeah, I would just say, like, girl, don't lose your relationship out here. Don't lose your opportunity for a relationship out here comparing your life to somebody else's. If we don't do anything else by the end of this year, let's get rid of the whole competition comparison thing. If we don't do anything else, if you don't get your body together, if you don't do anything else, just drop the comparison thing. Really, because comparison really is the thief of joy. Like, y'all are out here miserable and it's your own fault. You don't have to be. It's nothing wrong with your life. It's nothing wrong with your car. It's nothing wrong with your house. It's nothing wrong with your man.
Straight like that. Appreciate that closeout. B-Box, it's on you, man.
Yeah. Good luck, ladies. It's gonna be rough out there. Like Coco, everybody said, most people are average. Most people, if you just go down even just the stats, most people don't have homes, right? Most people are making a lot less than you think. They're dealing with a lot less than you think. And I do think one of the vestiges that we don't talk about in this country that's an ism is classism. And it's odd because a lot of people who are average are looking down at other people who are average. It's one of the oddest things. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't, and I particularly think it's more pernicious with women. Like Joe said, like we're working in the same place, and you're looking down on me. That's crazy. Or guys who are blue collar making way more than you, but he blue collar though. He's a mechanic, so I can't mess with him though. I'm from the DMV. I hear that all the time, and it's crazy to me as a guy who works in white collar finance. I'm like, but this guy is an electrician. Usually electricians they can make crazy money. A lot of them are actually in a lot of country clubs. You wouldn't know, but because so many women are so myopic and what it's got to be, and looking down on people because they might not have the education that they want. It's crazy. Ladies, good luck. That's all I gotta say. Good luck.
Man, there it is. There it is. Straight like that. Joe, it's on you, man.
B-Boxer, I think it's the perception, right? They look down on the garbage man who makes a lot of money. They do. It's the reason why they're out there doing it. It's not for their health. They make great money. I actually walked directly across from a carpenter. I had no idea. This man was making almost $200,000. You would look at him and think he was probably a garbage man. But you just like so casual. This big, tall, 6'8" white guy, and he just liked me for some reason. Start giving me this information. It's like, I got some secrets to tell you. I said, what do you? Yeah, I'm a carpenter. He's like, oh yeah, I don't want to be a carpenter. He's like, you sure about that? I make $200,000 a year. This guy's scruffy, looks like Santa Claus. I'm like, huh. Right, but these are the type of man that women look down upon, right? They see the kind of work they do, and it's perception over reality. Perception is, oh, you're working, front desk, you're a receptionist, you're probably making decent money, or whatever you think decent is. But then you got the guy who's underneath the car getting oil in his hands. He's the one that's making $100,000, $150,000 a year. The money you're trying to make still, that you went into debt in college to try to achieve, but still have yet to do it. So they want the illusion of this perfect couple or whatever. And, they look down on these people. When I look outside, I see the construction worker busting their ass, and they're making all kinds of, it used to be a time where women used to go out of their way to try to get those type of men. At least that's the way they portrayed it in movies. But also that's what I've seen growing up. They respected those men because they understood they built societies, and they were the ones who were making the bank, not the finance guy, not the banker. Oh, if a man doesn't have calluses on his hands, I don't want him. Now it's like he has to have a manicure, a pedicure. He has to have nail polish, and he has to look gothic, and he has to have all these. He has to clean, and his hair has to be slicked back a certain way. It can't be that rough and tumble, brawny type of guy no more. So it's the type of man that women are going for that isn't. They're not giving them what they want, but they're expecting to make the kind of money that those careers don't provide. And by the way, that AI, since Coco spoke about it, is taking over too, because you can replace a lot of the data center jobs, IT jobs, some finance. So a lot of those jobs are being taken away of those type of men that they say they want. But the jobs that are still here, the construction, the trucking, all these things that they look down on. I get it. Again, it's perception, it's the way it looks, it's appearances, but it's looking at things at a very surface level, and they're shooting themselves in the foot. Because at the end of the day, those guys, they're not struggling. They're happily making money, and they're doing their thing, but they go for the women that want them, and those women are almost always very happy and satisfied. I got my garbage man. I got my construction worker, my mechanic is so and so. And lastly, average. Coco, I agree. Just about all of us are average. I think there's a certain healthy level of, you look in the mirror, you say, I'm great, I'm great, I'm great. But then there's delusion. You can be delusional thinking you're so great when everyone else is like, nah, you not, you might be great, but how you think you're greater than me? We shitting on the same toilet here, right? That's what it seems like to me. You live in the same apartment I do. It kind of like, it reminds me when I was doing some gigs or modeling gigs just in Detroit, and I would go to these places, and not to harp on women, but men can be delusional too. You go in there, and they think they start walking like a model and start acting. I'm like, that's not. And they turn around and you got the designers and the agents, they're the ones who have to pick and choose who they want to hire. And they're just kind of like, nah, that ain't it. But they swear in their head they got it, right? It's a lot more people who want to be something that they're not even, that they can't be. So it's nothing wrong with having aspirations to want to be more. But then you can't even, it's like saying I want to be 6'7" when you're 5'2". There's some things you just cannot do. You just can't do. It's impossible. But the delusions that is fed to people because of social media is I can do anything because like a child. No, you can't be an astronaut anymore. You're 40 something years old. That dream is over. You want to be a fireman, you're 60. You should probably hang that up and find something else to do. You know, it's like gymnastics, you're in your late 30s, probably time to hang that up too. You know what I'm saying? So healthy amount of confidence, but that part when it becomes narcissism, that's dangerous for themselves and everyone else around them because now you can't function as an actual human being with a decent amount of emotional intelligence to understand what you can and cannot do, what you can and cannot achieve. You're delusional. And social media, it just doesn't play into that. You know, you can do this too. I can make a money. No, you just listen. Get your job, do your thing, get married, have your kids, get the white picket fence. That's okay. That's okay. And that's great actually, because most people don't even have that these days because they're shooting for the stars and getting nothing. They say you shoot for the stars, you ain't get the moon. Now you end up with shit. Sometimes trying to aim
Right.
super high, you end up missing everything. Now you ain't got nothing. So yeah, shoot as high as you think you can go, and then say, okay, maybe I should lower my aim a little bit and get that and be satisfied. Because that's how what 98% of us are. Yeah,
Right.
stop trying to. I'm the next Bill Gates. I'm the next Larry Brand, the inventor of Google. I'm the next thing. Just do your thing. Be a human being. Be average. Live your life. Enjoy it. Pass it on to your kids. Pass away, and the cycle continues. All this exceptionism, I'm great, I'm this and I'm that. It's too much. It's too much. And it drives those people crazy because when they don't achieve it, then they start blaming themselves and everyone else around them. Well, that means you ain't living up to you. That means you trying to put me down. Whoa, whoa. So I'll leave on that
Yeah.
note. You guys have a great night.
All right, you as well, man. Appreciate that close out right there, Joe. Cole, I don't know if you still there, Cole.
I am.
You want to say anything closing before we get out of here?
Yeah. All right. So, um, him to the topic. Average women think that they deserve more. I would agree. Um, I would- to be honest, I don't even know what average is anymore. I would just say they just another subgroup at this
Wow.
point. I am. So here's what it is with this economy, right? Um, the white collar job is being uh removed in some cases, not all, but in some significant cases. And even if it has not been removed, there is change around roles like that where you get to wondering, and people will in the office get to wondering, well, what do you do? Why are you asking me this question? What do I need you for? Why don't you know this? I know because I'm one of them people who have just about no respect for somebody who can't get their hands dirty.
Hmm.
Even though I do work on the tech side, I work in the warehouse. So I wear a safety vest and I have um not steel toe shoes, but I can't think of the other toe shoes, but they're not steel toes. But like I walk the floor. I have gloves. I pick up things. But also when it comes to knowing process and actually doing the tech work, most of that information is coming from the people that do this job every day. So it is a very hands-on aspect to it. Um, Previously, when I was in on the East Coast, I worked in a shipping yard. My office was basically in you know how they have like the outside like offices.
Right.
Where I'm hearing planes and whatnot every day. I have to wear construction shoes and a steel toe hat. And the users I support were building parts of a ship in separate tents. So, you know, jobs are changing where to me the ones that will be left are the ones that work very much alongside people who do the job every day. With that, this comment about, you know, men want the white collar dude, yada yada yada. Okay, but right now in this economy, what can I do with that? What can I do with that? I remember I would even today, one of the coworkers that get on my doggone nerve, but he needed a report from me. His previous role was being a machine operator, and he was supporting um the new operator that they have. But he was up on the mezzanine, still tossing around boxes. He like, oh, I'm sitting here sweating. I'm like, yeah, because you sit in the office now. But I still got him some cold ice water. He wasn't expecting it. But I still got him a cold bottle of ice water. I'm like, bro, you're doing heavy, work. I respect it. So, for the female that don't want that type of guy, okay. And then think about, is this slicked hair back person the one that's gonna protect you from certain things? I know if push come to shove, this coworker definitely would. Definitely would.
He'll protect you from breaking a fingernail.
No, she talking about my man. My man is about that business. I know what she's saying.
Yeah, definitely. Like if I got a problem, especially with somebody else on the staff at work, he like, do I gotta go check somebody? I'm like, heck yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. I know you don't get in trouble, but yeah, you do. All that to say, like, yeah, to this person who don't want a man to get his hand dirty, that's crazy work.
Yeah.
Did you say you brought him a cold bottle of water?
I did. He was so surprised, and the guys were jealous. They was like, "Oh, that's love." He was like, "No, that's coworker shit." I was like, "I mean, it is kind of love."
Yeah,
But
sounds
like,
a little bit more than it sounds a
I
little more than love to me.
chill.
Y'all heard that too? I heard that. I heard that
Chill.
too.
Oh my goodness.
I had to
Living
get the
in
right
the
clock
truth.
in.
We about to
AISSING.
I'm done. Y'all funny.
No, it's all good, Cole. You want to leave it there? You got some more.
He just
Nah, I'm
gave us a
good.
love story. That was so sweet.
I'm done with that. Oh my god. Let me go.
No, it's all good. Like I said, I'm glad she told or gave that example, right? Because once again, that guy, he used to be highly respected. Yeah, that's the interesting thing about her story. That guy used to be highly respected. I remember there was a time when that used to be on ladies' lists. I used to hear ladies say that all the time. Ooh, we just love a hard-working man who know how to use his hands. I used to hear ladies say that all the time. You notice we don't hear that no more? We don't even hear stuff like that no more. That hard-working man in his, what they say, I love a man in a uniform. I remember all the things ladies used to say. You don't hear any of that no more. Now it's, I don't want that guy because he can't drop everything and fly to Jamaica tomorrow.
Oh.
And it's like, that's crazy work. It's funny, I said, how times have changed. Yeah, that guy was highly desired. You know what's funny about that? That guy was so desired, that guy would be married with a family and females still was trying to get him. Like, let that sink in. He would be whole married with a family and a wife, and females was still trying to get him. So, man, we have just, like I said, we have gotten so far off from everything. Yeah, we've gotten so far off. We've gotten so hung up on this average thing. And this is the thing. Average is what it is. Yeah, but I think part of it is, or part of the reason why a lot of folks don't like the word or don't want to be associated with the word is because we've translated average to being broke. And that is not what average means. It don't mean broke. Yeah, you can be average making let me just be honest with you. You can be average making $200,000 a year. You can still be average because it depends on what pool or what metrics we using. So you can still be average, but we, for some reason, we always take average and we want to tie everything negative to it. Oh, that means you ain't got no money. Oh, you ain't got no designer stuff. Oh, you ain't this, you ain't that. And that's not the case. But a lot of us out here, we average, and we gotta call it what it is. Yeah, because at the end of the day, I'm at this point. If you are an average person, and because I know tonight we talking average women think they deserve more. If you that average woman that we talking about in this title, yeah, but you think you deserve the big dog out here, what's all these little terms y'all use? High value, whatever y'all want to use. But you think you get the big dog dude out here, then my first question to you is what you willing to do? That's my first question. Yeah, what you willing to do? And if you can't answer that, then just move around. Just move around. It's just that simple. Yeah, because at the end of the day, if we wanna live in this delusion, I'm gonna lay this out for y'all, and I'm gonna be as blunt as I can. A lot of y'all need to learn how to act. Yeah, but that's the one thing that y'all don't seem to want to do. Yeah, but if you want to exist in this delusion, then you're gonna have to learn how to act. Yeah, so for the ladies who you think you go get this big dog, this man who got all this stuff lined up and he got all these boxes checked off and all this, you need to know how to act though. You need to know how to move then. And that's not what's happening out here. Yeah, but the same with the fellas. If you think you about to go get this baddie or whatever this mess y'all be stuck on or whatever, then you need to learn how to act and move as the right type of man as well. But y'all ain't doing that either. So it's like if y'all gonna live in this delusion that y'all keep putting out here, then y'all need to know how to act. Yeah, it's just as simple as that. You got to learn how to act. Yeah, but y'all don't seem to want to do that. Y'all just want to come with y'all list of demands and think somebody gonna line up for you, and it's like, no, that's not how that works. Yeah, that ain't special enough. That ain't gonna cut it. So I'm just keeping it real. Yeah, if that's what you want to be on, then you better know how to move. It's just that simple. And if you ain't ready to do that, then just be quiet and go sit down somewhere. But man, shout out to my panel. Shout out to Coco, Beatbox, to Joe. Shout out to Cole. Appreciate y'all holding me down on the panel, man. Shout out to everybody in the comments as well, man. Great conversation, great show as always, man. Yeah, we're trying to move us in a better direction, man. Trying to impart some knowledge on folks so we can start thinking different, getting our minds right. Yeah, we say we want these relationships, man, but then we get out here playing these games and we not really moving like we want relationships. And this is why it ain't working out. It's really that simple. Yeah, you got to do things correctly if you want a successful relationship. Yeah, for the ladies, if you want this man to come in here and enjoying your situation and be taking care of business and doing this, doing that, you got to act right. I'm just being blunt with it. Yeah, you got some things you need to do. It's just that simple. Yeah, but the same with the fellas. If you want this little baddie or whatever, and all the fellas is checking for the same chick, and you think you the one who should get out of all of them, then you got to act right too. So if you ain't willing to do that, then bro, just go on and go on and get whatever and be cool. Yeah, but if people ain't willing to put that work in and do what they got to do, then man, at this point they just need to be quiet. Man, once again, shout out to my panel, man. Shout out to everybody in the comments, man. This is Kandid Konvos. We do this show every week. I gotta stop saying Wednesday. We do it every week, man. 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So definitely hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe for all my YouTube folks out there, man. And hit that share, man. Let's say we want to get this content out to as many of our people as possible. But man, with that being said, everybody have an awesome night. We're gonna catch y'all on the next one.